Growths and setups. There's setups through the entire process. And if you guys get good at this, you're going to make good growths and you're going to close a lot more deals. Okay? But a real professional is always setting up what comes next. If I set up what comes next, I don't have to ask anybody to do anything. We've already pre-talked about it. So we set things up. We set things up. We start setting things up at hello. Okay? When I do a power meet and greet, just a power meet and greet, my setup there is I want to make sure that I am not looked at like anyone else. And if they had a bad experience at another dealership, I don't want to sound anything like the last dealer because I don't want to remind them of those negative emotions. Right? Yes. So if they were at another dealer and left that dealer, did not buy a car, how do you think that meet and greet went? Not happy. Probably, hey, sir, can I help you? You need some help? I don't want to sound anything like that. If somebody left that dealer because they did not like that dealer, the only reason you would not buy a car is you don't like the person you're working with. The internet sells cars. They do all the work online. So if they came from another dealer, I don't have to ask them, did they like that dealer? I already know they did not like that dealer, or they would have bought a car, right? So there's a good chance they did a sloppy meet and greet. Can I help you? You looking for sales, right? I'm confirming, are you worth me even talking to before I go over and shake your hand? That's what we're doing. I want to make sure you actually are serious about buying a car before I take those 10 steps and shake your hand. So I don't want to come off anything like that at all. So I'm going to start with a power meet and greet. Okay? I need them to know I am excited and I am happy to serve you today. Okay? When I go into my communication, what are some of the things I'm going to find out immediately?
How long have you been researching the car? Do you have one picked out? Who's the lucky one?
Who's the lucky one? And what is that set up for me in the future? You're not going to use the third-party backdoor on me. You're not going to tell me you need your wife, you need your kids, you need your husband, you need your neighbor, because I'm going to establish right up front, who's the lucky one getting a new car today? While their guard's down, they raise their hand, they go, it's for me. I go, congratulations. How long have you been thinking about getting a new car? And when I ask them how long, what am I removing? Just started, right? Because later in the process, when they don't like the way things are going, they're going to let me know they just started and they need more time. So I'm going to ask them up front while their guard's down, how long have you been thinking about getting a new car? And when they tell me 2 weeks then and tell me about the story, how they went to Visalia and they didn't like the salesperson they're working with, I know I got somebody who's ready to do business. And I can remind them of that later when they let me know, oh yeah, I need some time to think about it, I just started, right? When I ask them what it is about this car that jumped out to you, what am I setting up there? I'm setting up my hot buttons. For what, Adam?
Gross profit.
For gross. Remember, that's what we're in this for. Okay? Is there anything wrong with making money on your customers?
No.
Let me ask you that. Why would a customer let you make money on them?
Because you build value.
Because they built value. Okay? Because they saw value. What customer is going to leave feeling better about the transaction? The one who saw value and paid you for the value in your service? Or the one who did not see value, ground you down to a bare bones mini, and on the way out says, I still think you got me? Which customer do you think is going to feel better? We make fun of that all the time. We go, oh man, my happiest customers are the ones that paid. But why? Why? It's because they saw value and service. We're no different. We're no different. Our favorite steakhouse probably isn't because of the steak. It's probably because of the service. Right or not? Or maybe it's a combination of both. Maybe I see value in the product, but I like the fucking service because I wouldn't go somewhere that treated me like shit, no matter how good the steak was. If you treat it like an asshole, I'm not going to go spend money with them. I don't want to give them my money. Right or not? Yes. So service and value always equals gross. There's nothing wrong with that. Do you think your customers, when you provide excellent value, excellent service, do you think they mind that you make a profit? No. I've had some flat outs tell me, I hope you made good money on this. Right? Okay? That's why value equals gross, and customers do not mind you making gross on them. They mind it when you don't, because you probably skipped half the steps, didn't build value, didn't build service. You treated them like a mini, so you were given a mini, and they didn't like the process. And they're probably going to torch you. Who tortures your surveys?
The ones that you freaking get minis on grinds.
The fucking grinds. And who complains about how much time it took? The grinds. What deals take forever? The fucking minis. Let's rewind that. Why? Because they told me to skip the test drive. They told me how to work the car deal, and I listened to them and skipped the whole process. And at the end of it, it took 4 times longer, and they weren't happy because they didn't get no value, right? That's why we train on these things. But the setup all along the way, okay? Now, I moved past here. Now I'm walking with the customer. What's my next setup? Let's talk about the switch unit. Right? Did I spell that right? I work?
Yeah.
I'm getting better at this shit, huh? Okay? The switch unit. This sets up gross, okay? Do I need to switch them every time? No. No, I don't need to switch them. I just want to throw it out there. Hey, hypothetically, as I'm walking to the new Camry that they want, hypothetically, if I took one in on trade recently, it's a year old, it's only got 20,000 miles on it, but it's about 10 grand less, which is like $250 in budget, which would probably get right on top of your budget for you. Is that something we consider?
Probably it.
Tell me no. I only want what I want.
Oh no, I want a new one actually.
You want to stay with them? Okay, I just wanted to throw it out there. Just wanted to throw it out there. Okay, what was the subliminal message that he just heard?
250 less?
0 miles.
Huh?
Right.
250 less?
250 less, which probably be what?
10,000 budget.
10,000. Budget wise.
Budget wise. 10,000.
That's 10 grand less, which is about $250 a month, which will get right on top of your budget. Right?
Yeah, see, yeah.
And when he said, no, I want what I want, I only want new, what does he now realize?
We gotta pay them a bump for the one that they really want.
That new one is probably $250 more. I don't need to talk about that now. I don't need to reiterate that and make sure he heard that. He heard it. He heard it when he declined it. When he said, no, I only want new. Good. Now you know I don't have to talk about that, but that's probably $250, okay? And now when I go inside and I hit him with that big ass pencil, and he goes, Curtis, I can't do that. I told you outside it can only be at 600. What do I get to fall back on? Do I start chopping right away, talking about take out your Starbucks out of your life and all that shit that everybody's been doing for 25 years?
Suggest that other vehicle again.
Or do I remind them that we have other options?
Yes.
Hey, I know that 600 was your budget. Let me ask you this, Adam. Can I pull that one I mentioned up just so you could take a look at it and see if that's something you consider? Tell me no.
No, I'd rather stick with this one, but.
You know what? Adam, let's forget about that pre-owned one. I want to get you the car you came for. I want you to get your first choice. I don't want to have no regrets. They're telling me it takes $950. You're telling me 600 your budget. What is the max you can do that we can help get the car you came to get today?
No more than 7.
These bumps are $100. Are they $100 every time, Gurdeep? It's an easy $100 versus fighting for $10, $15, $20 by asking them to cough up their Starbucks, right? I revert back to that unit. They don't even want to look at it. It's $100 every time. It's an easy 100. Sometimes it's 100, no more than 200. That fast. And you got a car deal, right? Where did that take place? Did that take place when the pencil was delivered?
No. It was during the process where the.
Or did that take place outside? One fucking sentence outside can make you $100 in the booth. One sentence. Okay, these are what professionals do, guys. I constantly set up everything that's going to happen next in advance. And I let the customer tell me yes. Okay, always customer benefit. Always give them options. Do customers want options?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll always give them options. I just frame them in my benefit. I frame them in my favor. Does that make sense? Now, what if I miss that opportunity right there? Damn, I didn't think about it. I missed that opportunity. When do I have the opportunity to do that again?
Never.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Coming inside.
As soon as I go on the drive or come back off the drive. One or the other. I need to do it while I'm in the car. Okay? I'm going to pull up to the car that I want to show them. And I'm going to say, Mert, do me a favor. I'll roll down their window for them. I go, take a look at that right there. That's a 2021 Camry. We just took that on trade last week. People bought it here new. They did all the servicing here. Okay? That's about 10 grand less than the one we're sitting in, which is like $250 a month. Probably get right on top of your budget. So for any reason, if this one don't work, I want you to keep that in mind as a backup plan. Is that fair enough?
Yeah.
That's it. Am I asking them to get out and look at it? Am I asking them to buy it? I'm just planting the seed, guys. All I'm doing is the setup, okay? So if I miss it on the first one, I'll hit it here. Or I'll do both. Or I'll do both. Okay? How do I know which car I'm going to show? When he come in and told me he wanted an XSE Camry, how do I know what car I'm going to offer?
What piques your interest
Lower
about
level.
that car looking for?
Huh?
A lower level.
Yeah, but how do I know where it's at? How do I know these things?
Oh, you gotta walk a lot.
You remember how we said we start our day? This is why I did this, guys. Half the time it wasn't to sell that product. It was so I always knew my switch cars. Or maybe I had it on the trade wall. Maybe we just took it on a trade. So before I leave, I might drive them by the trade wall and I might point at that car. But I always had my options available because I knew it was on the lot. That's why I walked it every fucking day and I'll just mentally take a look at a couple more. What's the year? What's the miles? Okay, got that one locked and loaded. So that way when I'm on a test drive with something else, I go, hey, that's a 2019. It's only got 41,000 miles on it. Tomas took it in on trade. Boom, boom, boom. This makes sense?
So the good thing about the switch too is if they do go to that switch, a lot of times they don't even ask for a discount. They go flock at the payment because they're so focused on the payment.
So rarely did anyone ever switch from me. I use it as I get my bump. But every now and then they would. And you're exactly right. When they switched, it was lay down city. Okay? If I had an appointment, then I'd set my switch up in advance and just have it there right there and just let them know, hey, this just came out. I didn't have the time to tell you about it. I wanted to show you this. You're the first one that's seen it. And I'd pump it up as if it's something just grand, right? And that made it easy. Those ones would usually switch on the spot. If I wanted to make more gross on it, I would just switch them on the spot, okay? But either way, I set up my switch, okay? When I'm showing the car, when I'm doing my show and tell, okay? How do I set up my test drive without asking? Remember what we always talk about. How do I get someone to do what I want them to do while them feeling good about it? This is the persuasion, okay, the persuasion part. I would let them know what's coming. So I would say, hey, I want you to pay attention. When we take this out for a drive, this is a turbo 4-cylinder, okay? This has got more power than your old V8, but gets 35 miles to the gallon. So I want you to pay attention how quickly this accelerates onto the freeway. Don't be afraid to give it a little gas, okay? And when he says, okay, what's he agreeing to? Test drive. It's not hard, guys. Or if it's a performance car, hey, I want you to pay attention. When we take the bend, getting on the freeway, I want you to feel how this thing handles, man. It drives like a rocket ship. It's on rails. I want you to pay attention how good it handles. And they go, okay. Now I'm getting them excited about it. But I don't got to ask them to test drive. Because what happens when I ask them to test drive? Their game plan kicks in. Oh, no, I don't want to test drive. Part of my game plan is not to test drive. I want to work from rational. I don't want to be emotional when I negotiate the car deal. I'm not supposed to test drive, right? The book said don't test drive. But if I trick them into using customer benefits, not even trick them, just persuade them. Just give them something to look forward to. Hey, I want you to pay attention. I always use performance, okay? I want you to pay attention. This is a turbo 4-cylinder. It's got the horsepower of your old V8s, but gets 35 miles a gallon. But I want you to notice how quickly this thing accelerates onto the freeway. You ever get stuck at that light down in the bottom, you only got about 60 feet to get up to speed, and there's a diesel right there? I want you to pay attention to how quickly this thing accelerates. You're never gonna have to worry about that. Now they're excited to test that out. I already got their emotions going. I don't gotta ask for a test drive. Make sense? How do I set up from the drive to come inside?
Proposal. Ask them the proposal.
How would you set them up?
Hey, guess the customer, how do you like the drive so far? And he says good.
It's good. It's nice.
Okay. When we get back inside, right, I'm gonna show you a proposal what it takes to own the vehicle. You can either tell me yes, no. You wanna think about it? I'm fine with either word. Fair enough.
Okay, I can do that. Okay? Set it up on the drive while they're feeling good. What happens when you wait to get out of the car? And then you guys stand around the car. And now you got that nervous feeling like who's supposed to talk first, right? And you're like, do you like the car? Oh, yeah, it feels good. Okay. And you go, oh, can I get your card? And you're like, oh, God damn it. Whose fault is that? It's your fault, man. You're waiting instead of being proactive, setting it up. Before I come off the test drive, while I'm on the test drive, Eric, what do you think of the way it drives?
I think it drives good.
Perfect. Do you think this is something you would consider owning?
Yeah, this is what we're looking for.
Okay, perfect. I'll tell you what. When we get back, I'm going to give you some options, show you what it takes to own it. You could tell me yes, no, or you want some time to think about it. I'm okay with any of the three. Is that fair enough?
Sure.
And what did he agree to?
The rest of the process.
The rest of the process. Everything I need to sell a car. Again, sometimes we get caught up on trying to close the car deal. Do I need to ask him in the car, hey, so if I got this to your $500 a month, you ready to take this thing home right now? I can throw the wall right back up. Everything could be going perfect, and I throw my own wall back up, and they go, oh, shit, no, I'm not ready for that. The game plan was just to drive today. So I just wanted to drive it today, and let me get your card when we get back, and me and my wife are going to go think about it. I throw my own wall back up. It's too soon for that. If I'm on the drive, what's the next thing I need to do? Just get them to agree to come inside. I don't need to close the car deal right now, right? How many of you guys ever lost the car deal or lost that momentum somewhere in the process when you say the wrong thing? When you went too far too fast, right? When you asked them to commit, how many of you have ever asked them to commit to a payment outside and the wall just went up and you couldn't get it back down again? Right or not? We've all made that mistake. That's how we learn. We win and we learn, okay? But if I don't learn from those mistakes, am I winning? I can't keep repeating it. Okay, every time I ask them to commit to a payment outside, the wall goes up. I'm gonna stop doing that. So I'm just gonna ask them to come inside. Hey, I'll tell you what, when we get back, let me give you an idea what it takes to own it. You could tell me yes, no, you want some time to think about it. I'm okay with any of the three. Is that fair enough for you, Mert?
Yes.
They say yes 100% of the time. Why? Because I gave them a way out. They heard, I'm gonna let you have all the information and go think about it. I heard that you're gonna come inside and let me get a credit app so I can get you all this information, right? Exactly what I need to sell a car. When will I worry about closing the deal? When I actually have everything I need to close the deal. Anything prior to that, I might be fish off. You don't need to rush the process, just one step at a time. Is this making sense for everybody? Okay? Set up everything in advance. Okay, if I set up everything in advance, everything is so much easier. I don't even have to ask them to do it. We just set it up in advance and they agreed to it. And we can just keep flowing. It's just a nice flow, right? There's no stopping points where I got to convince somebody to do something. We just set it up in advance. Does this make sense?